2, 3.
What's up, ISR fans? We're doubling down this week with another episode. Just me engaged today.
Oh, yeah.
No peanut gallery. We love you, Garrett. No Ashley. We love you too, Ashley.
Yep.
No guests.
No guess.
Although we appreciate everybody that's been on and everyone that will be on in the future.
Yeah, we wouldn't be anything without you guys.
I know. It's been a fun time so far. But today, just some good old insight from Emerson and Gage. Let's do this.
Just us.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
Yeah, strap in, saddle up, whatever you want to do. Buckle up, buckle your boots.
Okay, so
What's on tap today?
What we got going today is some NBA playoff stuff. We got some quick update on the NHL playoffs. And we're going to dive a little deeper into baseball with the trade deadline approaching.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little more baseball than normal today.
All right. I know you like that.
Yeah. Yeah, before we get into basketball, though, we're going to talk about this whole Earl Thomas saga that's going on. So he just got released.
Yeah.
That was on Sunday when we were recording,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
It sounds like he had a little spat with a teammate, and
started throwing some bugs.
Yeah, and the Ravens were like, you know what, dude, we're done with you. And clearly, to me, that means that he's not the player that the Ravens think he was anyways, because usually teams will try and work with a guy that's a valuable player.
If they thought he was that good,
they would
keep
have
him.
Exactly.
If that was Lamar Jackson, they're not cutting Lamar Jackson.
Exactly.
So
I think that's where Earl Thomas is at in his career at the moment. But I mean, the Cowboys are looking at him. What would you think about him coming along?
I think I'd be okay with it. I'm okay with giving people a chance. You know, people make mistakes and do stupid things from time to time. But I wouldn't have an issue with him being on the team. I know Jerry Jones wouldn't have an issue because Jerry Jones is no stranger to bringing people on the Cowboys who probably shouldn't be on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But I just don't. Well, I do like the idea of it.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously been a great player in his career.
Like the Cowboys last year were tied for last in interceptions.
Yeah.
And Earl Thomas has about I think 30 career interceptions.
Yeah,
and he's not the player he was in the Seahawks at all, but I still do think that he could produce for them.
For sure.
In a big way.
Yeah, I mean they got Clinton Dix, but they still have question marks on that secondary.
Yeah. Lost Byron Jones was a big loss. He won a lot of money, and I get the Cowboys getting paid him, but he was a good player for the Cowboys. Jamal Adams didn't work out.
Yeah,
which
would have been ideal, I'm sure.
But hindsight, it would have killed the cap space for the Cowboys. So you know, I think they can make it work without Jamal Adams. But if they can bring Earl Thomas in, I'm all for it. I don't know if Mike McCarthy will be able to deal with all this bullshit.
Yeah, he's the one who doesn't want him, but Jerry does, so that'll be interesting.
And we all know how that works.
Yeah, exactly. Jerry gets his way.
Jerry always gets his way.
I know the Niners were reportedly interested, but Kyle Shanahan nipped that in the bud today. I think he said, we like who we got, and we're going to roll with our guys.
Could you imagine having Earl Thomas and Richard
Sherman back together?
Both on the Niners?
That wouldn't
it would be weird. Like, if I would have told anybody that 6 years ago, they'd be like,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, get out of here. We don't.
No,
we're not about that at all.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the NBA. We got some big news today.
Yeah.
Unfortunate news. So, this was, 2 days ago when Jacob Blake was shot in the back? Or was it more than that?
Yeah, probably 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Shot in the back 7 times.
7 times by a police officer in Wisconsin. Really sad news.
It's terrible. I don't know if
right in front of his kids.
Did you see the video?
I didn't see it. I've just been hearing reports about it.
Yeah, I mean...
It's disgusting.
I don't recommend it, but if people know what we're referring to, then you should probably go check it out. Maybe not watch the video because it is brutal. If you can't stomach that, then I don't blame you anyways.
Yeah.
But maybe read on it. And it's something that keeps happening in America, and hate to see it, I really do.
And what it has in regards to the NBA is the Milwaukee Bucks have decided to boycott their game against the Orlando Magic today. That would be playing right now.
Yeah.
Which is huge. I know the the Raptors and the Celtics are scheduled to play tomorrow, I believe.
I think it was tomorrow?
I think it might be, unless it was today. And they're planning on boycotting as well. Houston and OKC are also scheduled to play today. Likely boycotting as well.
And same with the Lakers and the
Lakers. I can't imagine they're going to play today.
LeBron's not going to play tonight.
Yeah, there's no way.
Knowing how LeBron is when it comes to things like this, he's not going to play today.
And I think this just speaks to the fact that the players clearly feel like their messages are not getting across just by putting things on T-shirts and jerseys and whatnot. And
I'm all for this.
Yes,
a lot of people don't like politics and sports. To me, this goes for anybody, not even athletes. Like if you feel if you feel that strongly about something, you should be able to express it in whatever way you think is
For
right.
sure. Everyone should be allowed to have a political opinion.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe I understand when people say they shouldn't be allowed to use their sports platform, but I mean, you got to make a statement somehow. And they're a huge organization, and these players are a part of it, and they want to make a statement. So.
And this isn't even political. We're talking about lives.
Yeah, it's not even political.
This is a human thing.
That's a great point. This is not politics. This is about livelihood and just pure morality.
So I do hope everybody sees this and like, man, we do got to change something. I don't personally think it will happen overnight. I don't think anybody expects that.
We have 335 million people in this country. It's going to be a lot to change. I mean,
it's going to be a lot.
You'd like to think that most of them are on the right side, but you know that they're not all on the right side. So
it's wishful thinking, but I do think things will change for better.
I hope so too. Yeah. I'd like to think that it will. So yeah, we had 3 games scheduled today. Not likely to see any of them. But
and I think out of those 3 games, the one that I was most interested in was the OKC Houston, because that's actually a pretty good series.
Yeah, 2-2 series would have been. I mean, I'm sure these games will get played eventually, but it looks like NBA might be on a short hiatus here. Yeah. Speaking of Game 5s, though, last night we had a pivotal one between the Clippers and Mavs. And
did you watch any of that game?
I had half an eye on it.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
I was
disappointed.
Disappointed. And I don't know if the Mavericks, their magical run's coming to an end, or they're coming down to earth.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think of the talk about the Clippers being dirty and like Marcus Morris stepping on Doncic's ankle?
I'm glad you brought that up because I put that down in my notes.
Yeah.
And I looked at it, and I think it has to have been intentional. It just seems like it's like, what are the odds?
It's too
on the bum ankle that
ironic.
He has.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good look either.
No. I mean, sure, the Clippers have a kind of a nastiness about them. Yeah. I mean, Harrell and Beverly, they like to get up under your skin.
They're dogs.
They're dogs.
Yeah.
I watched the play. I don't think it's dirty just because he doesn't seem, I mean, unless Marcus Morris is really good at playing this off. He doesn't seem to be looking down and like, I'm going to step on the back of your foot trying to hurt him. I don't see that. I mean, I think it was more coincidence.
You do?
I do than it was intentional.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that he would do that and be that, that successful trying to stomp on a guy's ankle when we're running around.
I can see it from both ways. I think it was intentional. I just don't. I know stepping on feet and ankles happen, but it looked pretty obvious.
Yeah. I was using his eyes as my biggest indicator of not thinking it wasn't intentional.
And I noticed that too because he wasn't looking down at the ankle.
Wasn't. He was looking over. He was looking past Doncic. Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you saw, he tweeted out saying things along the lines of, "I would never do something like that.
Yeah.
I've been in the league 10 years. I'll play with the best. I wouldn't try to ever hurt anybody."
Yeah.
And so I like to always give the benefit of the doubt to people about lying and not lying.
Yeah.
So I don't think
Yeah.
after seeing that, I like to believe him, but it's still hard for me to believe him after seeing the play.
Yeah. Colin Cowherd made a funny point today. He's like, if he was intentionally going to hurt him, he probably would have done it in the first quarter and not when the game was already a blowout.
I did hear him talk about
so
it. He made some good points.
I think that's a decent point.
Yeah. Another thing about that game, what I want to point out is, I'm pretty sure Paul George listened to our podcast on Sunday. I was talking mad shit about him.
Dude.
He heard me because he dropped 35 points in that game.
Yeah, no more pandemic Pete. You got playoff Pete back.
I even wrote playoff Pete, proves me wrong in my notes.
Good for him. I mean, I don't hate Paul George by any means. So
he's a great two-way player.
He's a good player.
So thanks for listening to the podcast on Sunday. We appreciate it. We get it. You're still good.
Yeah. Man, that was about 154 to 111. Clippers now lead the series 3-2.
I want to say I read something that said that's the third most points in a playoff game in NBA history.
Jeez, and the freaking Raptors put up 150 the other day too.
Yeah,
that's insane. The Clippers shot 63% from the field. That's not easy to do.
No.
And 63% from three, which is also not easy.
So the 154 makes sense.
Yeah, impressive performance offensively from those guys. Denver also kept themselves alive last night against Utah with a 117-107 win. They still trail that series 3-2. Our prediction's not looking great.
Not looking great.
It's not over.
It's not over.
Yeah, we have Denver moving on. We both took them in 7, so they could still do that.
Yeah, because they they weren't looking hot in that last game.
No,
they were down.
They turned it around. Yeah.
And then Jamal Murray, who I think is underrated, had 42 points yesterday. I don't see him being a big-time point guard in this league, but I think he's perfect for what the Nuggets have.
Yeah. He looks to me like he'd be a top 10 point guard in the league for a long time.
I kind of see him as a poor man's Dame Lillard.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good comparison, actually. I like that a lot. Right on. Let's move on to these potential second-round matchups that are pretty much set. Obviously, Milwaukee and Orlando are not playing Game 5 today, which we would have expected Milwaukee to finish them off.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about their potential matchup with the Heat. And also Toronto's matchup that is already set with Boston. Do we still feel good about our predictions for Toronto and Milwaukee to move on to the conference finals?
I do. I do think Miami will. I forget what I wrote down, like how many games. I want to say I'll put 6 down.
I think I gave them 2 wins also.
I think the Heat are a good team. They're kind of like a dog as a whole team, pretty good. But Milwaukee, I don't know how they're going to stop. I don't know how Miami's going to stop. To be honest.
You ready for my bold prediction?
Right now?
Right now.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
What?
The Miami Heat are going to the NBA Finals.
Wow, so that goes against what you said.
It does.
But
I'm contradicting myself.
Again.
I love to do that on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for pouring that beautiful shot.
This is tequila.
Some Espolon.
Oh, you got the...
Taking out the Espolon shot glasses, too.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. All right.
Yes, I am, prisoner of the moment right now.
It seems like it.
But I love the way the Heat play. They have shooters.
They're a good team.
They have 2 guys that can get you a bucket late in the game, Jimmy Butler, Goran Dragic. They have a Swiss Army knife and Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero.
Yeah, stroking it from the outside.
Yeah.
I love the makeup of their team. And they're a great defensive team too, and I think they're going to give Giannis all he wants in this next series. And I like him. I think I like him better than any other team in the East right now.
Wow.
I know. I'm feeling crazy.
Wow.
Cheers to the Heat.
Yeah. I hope you can feel that way because you're going to be wrong. That's probably one of the bolder takes I've seen so far on the show.
Thank you, because I told you I was going to have a bold one, and I wasn't sure how bold it was. But.
I think it's pretty bold.
All right, cool.
I know the East is. We all know the East is not what the West is, but the Heat are a good team. I agree. Spoelstra, I like as a coach. I think he's one of the better coaches in the league.
Underappreciated.
Proven.
Yeah.
I don't think people really appreciate him because he won the 2 championships with LeBron, and of course you should have won more. But you still got to coach.
Yeah.
I could coach LeBron James' team.
You still got to drop some plays. Just gonna...
I guarantee if I was the head coach of the Lakers, they would be going to the finals.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So that one's for you, Scott.
Ooh, he's gonna like that.
He's gonna love it. He's gonna think I'm an idiot, and he's gonna be like, "Dude, you jinxed their chances."
Have you talked to him about that at all?
Nope.
No.
You're the first person to know.
Wow.
Yep.
Do you have any more bold predictions today?
I do not.
Okay.
But I do have a shot that I'm going to be taking later, and
we'll
get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to
that.
Toronto and Boston. You still like Toronto?
Yes.
I'm a little nervous. I think Boston looks good. They're gonna. I think I predicted this would go 7. So
I might have 2. Or it might have been 6 or 7. I forget.
Yeah,
It definitely wasn't 5.
It's gonna be a hell of a series.
I like the way Boston plays.
Boston is a damn good team. Jason Tatum. They swept the floor. So did Toronto with the Nets, but they swept the floor with a decent Philly team. I know they were without Ben Simmons. Yeah. So I still
feel good about Toronto.
I don't feel bad about Toronto. I'm just worried that Boston is playing better than.
I'll get into Boston later when we get to our Instagram questions.
All right.
But yeah, I feel pretty good about my predictions still.
Yeah. All right. More playoff action from the second round of the NHL. Our Lightning tied up the series with Boston last night in overtime. Another overtime was for them.
Is it 2-2?
So it's 1-1.
1-1. Okay, cool.
And we got Game 3. It's coming up later tonight. So yeah, we got to hold on to that prediction. Come on, Lightning. Do it for the boys. Do for ISR.
Yeah. Because you picked them 2 to win, right?
Yeah. We're hungry about that. Yeah. And then my Western Conference pick, the Dallas Stars. Look to go up 3-0 against Colorado. Joe Pavelski is just leading the way for the Stars right now. 7 goals in this playoffs.
Really?
Yeah. Got a hat trick already.
Jeez, what were you for the Sharks?
Fuck, man. Hey, Joe did a lot for the Sharks. We can't give him too much shit.
I'm just giving him some shit.
All right. Time to get into baseball, our big topic of the day.
Big topic of the day.
So we are right around the halfway point of the season, getting towards the trade deadline, which will be August 31st.
Okay.
oddly enough, the playoff bracket or the playoff format changed literally the day after we made our predictions, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna review
Still
our
roll with the ones that we had.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Review what we had, see how they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gage, you had Houston winning the American League West and going to the World Series.
Yeah,
right?
winning the American League.
They're sitting in second place in that division right now.
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised when I looked at the standings today. I didn't realize that. I know it's a shortened season, so being 4 games behind
doesn't look as bad as the winning percentages. Yeah.
But I was like, okay, so Houston's
right there.
Still feeling good about that, I guess.
And they're in a playoff spot, given that we're going to be having 8 teams on each side.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm sure they'll make the playoffs.
Yeah, they've been just totally crushed by injuries this year.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Yankees. You had them going to play the Astros in the championship series, right? They're sitting in second place, but just right behind Tampa.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the Yankees right now.
16-9. Twins are
your
looking good.
Your Twins are looking good.
My Twins are looking good.
Twins are looking real good.
20-11.
Mm-hmm.
You had Cleveland as one of the wild cards, and they're looking good. 18-12.
Yeah, second of their division.
Yeah, I think actually the White Sox did pass them today, but I mean, regardless, by half a game.
Gotcha.
And then this one's gonna sting, but you had the Angels making the playoffs, and I believe they have the worst record in baseball right now, or at least the American League at 10-22.
I'm feeling bad for my boy Trout. Kind of. I know he is a bajillionaire.
Yeah, we'll talk about them a little bit more in a second, but 10-22 is not what I expected either.
No, I mean, I thought Rendon might help a little bit on the offensive side.
Yeah, it's been a rough go.
Yeah.
Over in the National League, you had the Dodgers going to the World Series and winning, right?
Yeah.
Yep, and their best record in baseball.
I don't like to admit that out loud, but yes, I did have the Dodgers winning the World Series.
We both had that. I guess we could talk about who we both had. So we both had Atlanta as well, winning their division. I think we both had them losing though in the divisional round. So, but they're looking good. You had Milwaukee winning the Central. They're only 13-15 right now. It's not over for them, but
the Cubs are hot right now.
Yeah,
the Cubs are playing.
Well, the Cubs were hot. They're scuffling a little bit, but and that's who I had winning the division. They're still in first place. That division's kind of weak though. It's not as strong as I figured it would be. The Cubs are 18-11 right now, looking pretty good. You had St. Louis as a wild card team, which they are currently in a playoff spot as we stand today.
And they're in a weird spot because they haven't played nearly as many games as people because of all the COVID stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I give them credit for hanging around as long as they have. Yeah. I still think they're screwed. I mean, once these doubleheaders start piling up, they're going to be in a rough spot with the pitching staff. I really believe that. And then you have the Padres making the playoffs, and they are looking damn good.
I'm really liking that pick right now.
And we're going to talk more about them in a second.
I almost wish I had them going deeper because I believe I had them losing in the wild card game.
Yeah.
But I like the fact that I put them in there.
Yeah. No, that was a good call, Gage.
Yeah.
So for differences between our playoff teams, I had the A's winning the West, and they're looking really good.
That's probably going to happen.
Yeah. They have the best record in the American League right now. I also had Tampa Bay making the wild card. They're actually in first place in their division over in the East. 20-11. I had Houston making the wild card instead of winning the division, and that's right where they sit. Over in the National League, I have Washington and Cincinnati as my 2 wild cards. They're both not looking great. It's not over for them. No. Just like it's not over for Milwaukee, but they need to start picking it up.
It still feels like a lot of these teams, maybe besides the Angels, it's still not pretty wide open because there's 2 extra. Is there 2 extra on each side?
Yes, correct. Yeah, so we're having or three extra actually.
Oh, okay. So
there's gonna be 8 on each side.
Yeah. So do you not want to change our? You want to keep it how it is since?
Yeah, we'll stick with what we got. I mean, we could talk about teams that we're gonna talk about these teams that were our surprises so far in this first half of the season.
Yeah, the Padres,
like we mentioned.
18-13. Yeah. Tatis and Machado are crushing the ball right now.
Insane.
Already 6 grand slams as a team. I believe they hit.
It's like 6 in the last.
Or they hit. I want to say they hit 4 in a row. 4 in 4 games.
And then 5 out of they skipped a day and then hit another one in the 6th game.
That just shows that they're getting runners on base and they're making
it count. No question. That's I mean that's the way to do it.
The White Sox 19-12. Jose Abreu has been destroying the baseball lately, hitting a record-tying 6 home runs in the recent series versus the Cubs.
Incredible. 6 home runs in what he had like a 2 home run game, a 3 home run game, and then the last game of the series had another home run.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Unbelievable. And Lucas Giolito last night threw the first no-hitter of the season. I'm gonna put my money on it being the
No,
last no-hitter
yeah.
no-hitter of the season as well. Lucas Giolito is actually not a household name.
No.
But he's actually a good up-and-coming pitcher. He was a top prospect. Finally figuring it out.
I had you read that part because I know how to say his last name. But no, yeah, give it to him. He had it was like 105 pitches, so he was keeping his pitch.
It was
count
101,
great.
and he still struck out 13 batters.
Guys,
Dominant. Only one walk.
Yeah.
Only base run.
And like we talked about earlier, my Angels 10-22. The Red Sox are also 10-20. Yikes.
Two teams I figured would be in the middle of the pack, maybe not playoff teams.
Yeah.
But they're really scuffling.
I know Ashley's loving that Red Sox record, by the way. Those teams have given up more runs than any other teams this season.
That's the big factor. I mean, offense is not really the issue with them. It's the pitching staff.
And that shouldn't be surprising. If you have losses, you're going to give up a lot of runs, obviously.
You would imagine, but I mean, it's not. Yeah, but the run scoring is not the issue,
No.
which is unfortunate because pitching is hard to find these days.
But so going into the season, you know this more than me. Were either of those teams really supposed to do that well?
No, I think I predict them to be right around 500 ball clubs.
Yeah.
I mean, if things went right, they could be a playoff team.
Yeah.
You know, the Angels have been trying to, scrap together a pitching staff for all of Mike Trout's career, basically, and they just really haven't been able to.
I do like the Joe Madden managerial pick by them.
I do too.
I like Joe Madden a lot. I wish he would have been the Giants manager.
Yeah.
I know he's kind of older. They want to bring a new guy in, just stay there for a while.
Yeah.
But I've always liked Joe Madden. I thought maybe that would have
Help them take them over the top.
Brought them to a different level.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes there's only so much you can do. I mean, a manager can navigate a team, but if he doesn't have pieces to work with, especially when it comes to a pitching staff, it's super difficult.
Yeah.
And the Red Sox have been, when they got screwed when Chris Sale went down with Tommy John before the season, and they haven't been able to figure it out. They just traded the closer, so they're definitely mailing it in.
Now, I wonder if the Red Sox are kind of like how the Astros are right now. I know the Astros are playing a lot better than the Red Sox, but the whole cheating scandal stuff, if it's getting to them,
Maybe,
it's kind
yeah.
of not like a curse, but it's like a bad omen.
It's kind of hovering over them.
Yeah, like they can't.
That's not a bad point. Not a bad point. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Emerson, you have some household names you want to let everybody know about.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
I got 6 household names that need to become household names. And I believe they will be household names pretty soon here. So I got 3 position players and 3 pitchers. I'm going to start with our position players. So number 1, this guy is quickly already becoming one. He's a stud shortstop for the San Diego Padres, Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's got some mean frosted tips on his
He
dress,
does. He does. His dad played in the league. His dad was badass. His dad is known for having hit 2 grand slams in the same inning.
Wow.
I've only player to ever do that. 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
That's a lot of runs.
That's a lot. He did that against the Dodgers, which I love that too.
So he had 8 RBIs in 1 inning.
In 1 inning. Insane. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Fernando Jr., leading the league in home runs with 12 so far this year. It's just absolutely raking. 650 slugging percentage, which is incredible if you're not familiar with the slugging percentage stat. And 6 stolen bases. He loves to run the bases. He's 21 years old. He's fleet of foot.
I would love to see more stolen bases in baseball.
Yeah, it's a dying art in the game.
Or more seeing one guy dominate. Maybe like a Ricky
Anderson says, yeah. The thing is, baseball has become such an analytical game. Coaches have figured out that it's not as it doesn't help as much as we want to think. A stolen base does not help as much as you want to think. You got to be really efficient if you're going to steal a lot of bases.
Like Billy Hamilton was good at it for a while.
Yeah. But even he would get caught stealing a lot. He would lead the league in steals and cutouts.
And Trout was doing it for a little bit early in his career.
He was, yeah.
I don't see him doing it as much.
Yeah, you got to be a little bit sneakier. I think teams are getting a little better at defending the stolen base too. So, another one, our boy Mike Yastrzemski from the Giants. He's proven that last year was not a fluke, at least so far this year.
He's been hitting.
He's been over 400 on base percentage and over 600 slugging percentage. Yeah. He's putting it all together. He's leading the league in wins above replacement, which is a statistic that kind of it tells you everything that he does. It talks about defense, base running, and hitting. He and Fernando Tatis are number 1 and number 2, tied for number 1.
So I gotta say, when it comes to like WAR and slugging percentage, I'm still
getting there.
Still a little foggy there, getting there, but
totally understandable. I think that's what drives people away from baseball is that the stats
are just so stat driven.
It's so stat driven, and people just don't want to hear about the numbers. But that's what baseball people love. They love their numbers.
Yeah. One thing I learned about Mike Yastrzemski, it was his birthday a couple days ago. I didn't realize he's already 30.
He's an old sophomore. if you will.
Yeah, and it's cool that he's been through so much and it's finally paying off for him.
No, I agree. I mean, I
think we both agree. We wish he was like 23.
Yeah. No, I totally. I thought about that the other day. I was like, I wish this guy was less than 25 years old because he'd be a centerpiece for the team for years.
But nonetheless, he's playing well for us right now. I'm saying he's got another 5 years.
I would hope so.
Being good,
I would hope so.
35.
He seems like a good athlete. He can play center field. He's not.
He looks like he's in good shape.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's short, but he's
slender. Yeah, slender, and he can hit for power, which is awesome. Something the Giants haven't had in a while.
He'll get that occasional splash hit, which some of you don't see that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, an outfielder that the Giants haven't had any outfielders since Hunter Pence, basically. So,
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't die.
He didn't die. He died from baseball. All right, another one from as far as position players go. This guy was the #1 prospect in baseball coming into 2020. So you may have heard of him. His name is Luis Robert from the White Sox. This guy is an absolute stud. He steps into the box. You would think he was Yasiel Puig if you knew who Puig was.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like him. You'd be like, when did Puig join the White Sox?
I want to say I've heard the name, but I don't watch very many White Sox.
He's a physical specimen. He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's slugging .559 this year, which is awesome. Nice. 7 home runs, off to a good start, and he's probably only going to get better. He can play great center field. 5-tool player. Wow. A lot of people are like, dude, this guy's the next Mike Trout. I'm like, let's pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes
a little bit. Let's let him prove himself. But hey, he looks like
that's
a
cool.
stud.
I'll have to check him out a little more. Then.
Luis Robert.
I want to say I have watched a couple White Sox games actually, because sometimes they'll play later games.
Yeah,
it's like the only thing on.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out.
White Sox are putting together a good team, like we just mentioned.
It's about time.
Yeah, it is about time.
White Sox been trash for a while.
All right, so one of my new favorite pitchers, my #1 pitcher that I'm going to put on this list, Shane Bieber.
Bieber.
Not related to Justin, unfortunately, for you ladies, but Shane Bieber from the Cleveland Indians has been lights out this year.
Wow.
I think he had like his worst start yesterday, and he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings and struck out 10.
which isn't a really bad start.
It's just still really good.
Yeah.
He struck out 43% of his batters this year, which is insane as a starting pitcher. Wow, insane. He's got a 1.35 ERA. Throws a great mid-90s fastball that, if you watch his highlights, he just paints that thing wherever he wants. Yeah. And he's got a straight down hard curveball that is absolutely filthy. That's how he racks up all the strikeouts. Another pitcher, Max Fried from the Atlanta Braves.
I don't know if I've heard of him.
He's a lefty. He's got, you know what? He throws this curveball that reminds me a lot of Kershaw. It's not as good as Kershaw's curveball, but it reminds me so much of Kershaw. He's a fun one to watch. He's got for being a good strikeout pitcher, he racks up a lot of ground balls too, which pitching coaches love that. Get you a double play whenever you need it. And then another pitcher from the San Diego Padres. San Diego Padres got some good
I told you the Padres are gonna be good.
Dinelson Lamet from the Padres, starting pitcher. He's been awesome this year, striking out 34% of his batters, which is also insane as a starting pitcher. Nasty, hard downward slider with the mid to upper 90s fastball. 1.89 ERA so far this year. He's been lighting up. Him and Fried are both pitching tonight, so go check them out.
Oh, they're playing against each other?
Not against each other.
Oh,
they're both, the Braves are playing the Yankees. Can't remember who the Padres are playing.
I have been watching a decent amount of Padre games too, because they do play later.
Yeah,
we West Coast late games.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, I got one more little segment I want to do because it is the trade deadline coming up.
Yes.
I have, for you Giants fans out there, I have the 3 best and 3 worst trades they've made since the year 2000. I chose 2000 because that's kind of about when I started watching baseball.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's the best insight I can give. I do have some honorable mentions though.
Okay, can't wait to hear them.
We're gonna start with the worst. Save the best for last. So my 3rd worst one is when the Giants traded pitching prospect Luis Castillo to the Marlins for Casey McGee. Luis Castillo now pitches for the Reds, and he was an all-star last year, of course.
It doesn't get more SF.
It doesn't get more SF. And to get Casey McGee. I don't know if you Giants fans remember Casey McGee.
Oh my god.
But that guy was an absolute disaster.
3rd baseman.
Yeah.
Number 14.
Yeah. So it sucks.
Terrible.
Terrible. He was probably known for his 150 batting average, I'm guessing, and his shit defense.
Does Dan Uggla make this list?
Dan Uggla does not make this list. He would be among worst acquisitions, because he was probably a free agent, I'm guessing. Yeah. So that's number 3. Yeah. Number 2, trading pitching prospect at the time, Zach Wheeler, for Carlos Beltran. At the time, it seemed, getting Carlos Beltran in 2011, which the Giants did not end up making the playoffs.
Yeah, coming off the 2010 year, they probably thought they needed to bring in a guy like Carlos Beltran who's been proven in the postseason, especially.
Exactly. Yeah, and Posey had been injured that year, so they needed some more thump in the lineup. Yeah. So they traded away top pitching prospect Zach Wheeler, who has now put together a pretty nice career. Just got a nice contract with the Phillies over the offseason.
I know hindsight, bad trade, but do you think at the time it was...
When I heard, because Wheeler was a known prospect, and I was a little bummed to hear that they gave him up. And then when the Giants didn't make the playoffs, I was like, this was all for naught. And Beltran was a free agent the next year. So. But
I almost forgot Beltran played for the Giants.
Yeah, it was half a year. He put up good numbers, but it didn't work out for the Giants. Of course, the Giants went on to win 2 more World Series, so we can't be too mad at it.
Yeah.
But here we are without a fucking pitching staff.
We'll get back there.
We'll get there.
I had a feeling this would be on the list.
This next one?
Yeah.
Okay, so Giants fans that have been watching the Giants for a while will remember this one not very fondly. The Giants traded Joe Nathan and Francisco Liriano for catcher A.J. Pierzynski. Now, at the time, Giants fans probably wouldn't give a shit about Francisco Liriano or Joe Nathan.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we got a catcher now. A.J. Pierzynski went on to, I believe, lead the league in double plays grounded into that year. His only season with the Giants. And Joe Nathan went on to be the best closer in baseball for the next 6 years. And Francisco Liriano was also an all-star at one point in his career. So that one.
Would you say the trade at the time might have been fair because they were coming off World Series appearance and thought they needed something else?
Yes, I would agree with that. They were trying to look for that next piece. Joe Nathan was actually showing promise in that previous season with the Giants, which, he was just a middle relief pitcher, but still. Giving up that for 1 year for Pierzynski to just lay an egg with the Giants.
I feel like it's known that Giants fans don't like A.J. Pierzynski.
100%. I've heard him multiple times acknowledge it in broadcasts that Giants fans are not fond of him. What's his?
Was he only on the Giants for a year?
One single season.
Wow.
Led the league in double plays.
Looks like I know what jersey I'm getting next.
I don't even remember what number that was. All right.
So let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah, let's go to the happy side of this.
The happy side
of this list.
Always like to end things on a happy note on this show.
So, my third best trade by the Giants since 2000 is going to be the acquisition of Angel Pagan. Gave up Andres Torres, who we love in 2010. Gave up Andres Torres and Ramon Arenas chump change for Angel Pagan. That was a great trade. He was a catalyst for that 2012
Angel Pagan's great.
World Series.
You can't hate the guy.
He was probably my favorite player for a couple of years there. I mean, he just had the energy. He did the salute, which I love. I love the salute. Every time he got on base. Yeah. Salute. Yeah. I love that. He was just a great energy guy for the team. He made the team go for sure. That's top of the lineup.
Can't disagree with that.
Yeah. Number 2. You could almost argue a Giant legend was acquired in this trade. The Giants traded Armando Rios and Ryan Vogelsong, who was ironically became a Giant again much later in his career. But this is back in 2001. The Giants traded Armando Rios and Ryan Vogelsong for Jason Schmidt, who put together a really nice career for the Giants. Yeah. I think he finished second 1 year in Cy Young Award voting. He was the ace for that team that went to the 2002 World Series. Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't pull it off. But
we don't like to talk about that.
Yeah, but Schmidt, definitely one of the Giants' favorites.
Didn't Jason Schmidt play for the Dodgers too?
He did leave the Giants for the Dodgers, and
good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
Right down the chute.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, and number 1. No. This is kind of probably pretty easy, but trading Nate Schierholtz and a couple prospects for Hunter Pence, the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Where's my jersey at? You don't have to break it up.
I'll break it up.
Hunter Pence was, he was the rally king for the 2012 and 2014 teams.
He's probably my all-time favorite Giant.
He's up there. I mean, he's the only Giant jersey I've ever owned.
He's so quirky. That's what I really liked about him.
He's so San Francisco.
Yeah. That's why even seeing him go a couple days ago was tough.
That was sad. Yeah.
They probably shouldn't have brought him back anyways.
I know. I hate to say, I hate to agree with you, because he was an All-Star last year with the Rangers, which I think a lot of people
as a DH.
As a DH,
yeah,
fair enough. But he's still great.
He still made it.
And of course, he was injury riddled last year a little bit too, but he still made the All-Star team, and it wasn't undeserved. But yeah, it's tough to see Hunter struggle as a Giant because he did his last few years as a Giant. But I mean, man, was he huge for those?
He is just so San Francisco.
Yeah. I don't know why, but the home run he hit, I want to say it was in Game 1 of the 2014 World Series. This always sticks in my mind as one of my favorites.
The center field.
Yeah, it was the right center field.
Against
Just an
the
absolute
Royals,
bomb. Yeah. I don't know why that always sticks in my head, but that was
I think it was the 2012. I don't know if it was World Series or World Series run when he was up to bat. Broke his bat.
And it hit the ball like 3 times.
The ball hit the bat 3 different times. Yeah. He got a base hit off.
It was ridiculous. You could watch when you watch the replay. You see the shortstop move to his left because that's where the initial path of the ball was, and it then goes right, and it's way past him.
To me, that's Hunter Pence in a nutshell.
Exactly.
That at bat,
just oddities.
Just weird.
Yes.
It doesn't happen to anybody else.
100%.
Broken bat, and the ball hits the bat 3 different times. You get a base hit.
100%.
It doesn't happen.
I'll give a couple honorable mentions for our best trades. The acquisition of Marco Scutaro in 2012. Mm-hmm. He was huge for that team, MVP of the championship series. Mm-hmm. And then 2009, Freddie Sanchez, who was the starting second baseman the following year for the 2010 championship team. So there we go, Giants fans. I buttered you up. And speaking of the Giants.
Yeah, speaking of the Giants, they just won their 7th game in a row last night, beating the Dodgers in extra innings. Brandon Belt, who decides to show up, finally.
He's been hot lately in this winning streak.
He had 2 home runs, including the game-tying home run off Kenley Jansen. Love to see Kenley Jansen get up late.
I know. He's been back to his normal self this year, so that's nice to...
Yeah, I read that that's his first home run given up since last August.
That's crazy.
Oh, I think that's what the broadcast said.
Yeah.
Donovan Solano proceeded to hit a walk-off home run in the 11th.
Donnie Barrels. I didn't make that up. I did not make that up.
Who we should throw in there was going over 5 up to that point.
He was struggling that day, yeah.
So that marks the Giants' 4th win against the Dodgers, which means Emerson has to take a shot for his prediction that they would not win a single game against LA this season.
All right.
Yep.
Sign me up, boss.
I think it's. I should also mention that right when the Giants won the game last night, I texted Emerson saying, "Looks like someone's taking a shot on the podcast tomorrow."
Yes, sir. Here we go.
You know what?
Oh my God! You gonna help me out?
No, I'm gonna be such a nice guy. For the Giants beating the Dodgers last night, I'm going to take an honorable shot with you.
All right. Sweet. I love it. I got a friend.
I like Donovan Solano, the way he's playing.
He
went over 1 for 6.
Yeah. But this year, he's hitting like 350.
Man,
can't beat that. And that was clutch.
Yeah, I didn't mean to pour your shot that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thanks for helping me out, boss. This looks daunting, doesn't it?
I just tasted it, so yes.
You need to let that settle for a second?
I need to finish this off. Pack another one up.
All right. Work later.
Yeah, I think we should tell people that we're doing this at a different time than we usually.
Yeah, this is the middle of the day. What time is it? About 3 o'clock?
I don't like to admit that I'm drinking in the middle of the day usually, but,
I don't like to admit that I'm drinking before work, but I'm going to admit that.
I hope your GM is listening.
Yeah. Sorry, Jerome. I know you're enjoying your vacation right now.
All right, cheers.
All right, let's do this, boss.
Good.
To the Giants. I like chasing tequila with beer.
Woo! That is not good tequila, my bro.
I had to give it a shot.
I think this is the one that you were talking about. That I had the look on my face.
I
think that's the same tequila. I could taste it.
I can't remember. It might have been Cazadores, but you could be right. Anyways. Q&A time!
Q&A. This is quickly becoming my favorite part.
I love Q&A too. I'll give you that.
That's great. So, please keep bringing them because we love answering them.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to a point where in this show or in these questions where we're gonna answer any question you give us, really.
Exactly.
So I'll start out with the first question by Stephen Emmerich. So we're not putting the handle names anymore.
I think that's his handle anyways. It's Stephen Emmerich.
Stephen Emmerich. Thank you for listening. Thank you for asking questions.
Love it, Steve.
He wants to. Well, this actually isn't a question. He wanted to say, I want to hear a talk on Jackson Mahomes. And before we get into that, Emerson and I were talking before we started the podcast, and I thought Stephen Emmerich meant he wanted to hear a comparison of Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, because I do think we should tell that Stephen Emmerich is a big Chiefs fan.
He is a
huge Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
So I thought he wanted to hear us butter up Patrick Mahomes for a little bit. But what Emerson told me was that I guess Patrick Mahomes has a younger brother named Jackson Mahomes.
Yes.
And I guess he's one of those TikTok dancers.
Yes, exactly what he is.
He's big on social media.
Yeah.
Emerson showed me a video of the guy, and I don't know if I really want to talk about it, to be honest with you. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, basically Steven sent us on our IG, he sent us a video of Jackson Mahomes celebrating Patrick's big contract extension that he signed. And he's dancing like a fool.
It pretty much consists of him doing the worm on the ground, like pumping the ground kind of.
Basically, and not doing a great job.
Yeah. So
that's all I got to say about that.
But Steven, I will say, hopefully, when football season starts, we can do a Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson comparison. Yes.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
So our next question is from Daniel Darts Del Zampo, and I think this is one of the better questions that we've had on the show so far.
No, I like this one a lot.
He asked us, which team has the lowest odds that you can see going to the NBA Finals? And
you go first.
I'm picking the Boston Celtics in this one. I think they have a great team. Like we talked about earlier, that's why I said I was going to mention Boston later. I just don't think they have enough yet. I think I got to give Jason Tatum a little more time to get to that point.
Yeah.
But, I love Brad Stevens. I think he's a great coach. I think they're a great team. Kind of like how the Nuggets are, but they're better than the Nuggets.
Yeah.
So, I picked the Celtics. And I'm guessing you're going to go with the Miami Heat.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of take this question as, like, who does the public see as a team that probably wouldn't make it, but that we could imagine making it?
Yeah, that's how I put it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I go with the Heat. I don't think a lot of people think the Heat are a team to go, but I think, obviously I'm feeling bold today.
I wanted to go Rockets, but I just don't truly believe.
That would be the team that would be just a bit lower than the Heat that, things would really have to go right.
But outside of the Lakers and Clippers in the Western Conference, I would give the Rockets probably the best chance.
They're probably number 3, because I don't see anything from the Jazz or the Nuggets.
No.
I don't see anything from Dallas. I mean, they got a long road ahead to get the Clippers.
Or see anything from OKC.
And OKC, yeah.
I think OKC has probably the least amount of chances.
Of all the teams that are...
Sorry, Sal.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of Sal, our next question is from him. He asked, would you rather get dunked on or your ankles broken, which means getting crossed up by somebody you're playing against, like a pickup. For me, this one's easy. I have had my ankles broken and been crossed up plenty of times. I don't want to get dunked on.
Yeah, I'm with you, but I think it's close. They're both embarrassing.
I've never been dunked on.
Well, for sure.
I feel like if I ever get dunked on by somebody, I'm going to look at myself and say, I don't deserve to be on the court anymore. This isn't what I signed up for. Yeah. I know I'm playing with guys like this.
I'll also put it this way. Getting dunked on, like a posterizer dunk is more common, I think, than a true cross-up where you drop somebody or you totally lose them.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a fair assumption.
So I think that's
when you watch the NBA, you see a lot of dunks on people.
Yeah. That's what makes getting crossed up, I feel like, maybe worse, because it's less common.
All right. But, well, I guess I'm thinking with us, because I think less common if we're playing pickup is someone...
For sure, yeah. For sure. But if we're talking NBA basketball...
Because I would love to dunk on somebody.
Oh, sure. 100%. Like, who asked the question? Was it... Joel asked us the question last week about who would you rather dunk on. Who would you rather... Who would you most want to
in the
dunk on?
NBA?
Yeah.
Our next question... You want to say this one for last?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna skip this next question for another question.
Yeah.
Which is by
my aunt.
Your aunt.
Yeah, my aunt Elizabeth.
Which we covered a little bit in the last.
We did.
episode.
Yeah. So
please listen.
Yeah. So she probably hasn't listened to the last episode, but we'll get to it. We'll give our quick answers.
What was the full question? Was if she thought
if Kaepernick is gonna ever play in the NFL again, and I said I would lean towards no, so I'm just gonna say no.
You know, I honestly forgot what I said. I remember saying that.
I think you said you wanted it to be for the right reasons.
Yeah, I
But you didn't give
I don't think I gave a big.
I don't think you said it.
I don't think he will come back because of everything.
Yeah.
But if he does, like I said in the last episode, I hope it's for the right reasons.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 100% no by any means, but I think it's on the side of no just because teams have reportedly looked at him and had nobody signed him. So why wouldn't, I mean, what's the reservations if they think, if they thought he was good enough, I think it's, the whole bullshit is over.
Yeah.
They're going to sign him if he's worthy. So
yeah, if I'm picking yes or no, I'm going no.
No.
Like if I have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, I agree.
And our last question, which is arguably the funniest one we've ever had on this show.
Stupidest question too.
By N Revs, aka
Nico
Revheim.
Yeah, you're getting sold out, dude.
He asked, who's got the bigger hog?
All right.
Yeah, you want to
pull out
the tape measure? Yeah. And by hog, he means penis size, I'm assuming.
I thought he was talking about pig.
Yeah.
Because I don't own one, so you win.
I own many pigs. Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, Emerson and I compare and contrasted in the bathroom, and Emerson definitely has the bigger penis.
We both have chode, so it doesn't matter. That's my.
Yeah, we're both not packing anything worth talking about. So Nico and everybody else, thank you for those great questions. Keep them coming.
Fabulous work. It's time for last call. Holy shit.
Already?
Yeah. I'm getting hot.
You know, embarrassed talk about.
Yeah, talk about my cock. I got two things to say, at least. Thank you to we talked about how last Sunday was our 10th episode.
Yeah.
We've had 309 listens combined on all of our episodes, so that's about 31 listeners per episode. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you
to everybody
giving us a chance. Thank you
for diving into our stupidity,
letting us kind of not live our dream, but something we always wanted.
Yeah, making our hobby a reality.
Yeah, and it's definitely a different aspect to it.
Yeah,
like it's more like I do homework, which I'm cool with. It's like I don't want to do any other kind of homework.
I mean, I wish I could do this for a living because I'd be way better than I am. But
yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah, at some point. Other thing is tentative date for that ISR beer dye tournament that we mentioned a few weeks back. September 12th.
September 12th.
We are still looking for some people. I don't want to make a huge advertisement about it, but we're definitely going to be live streaming that when it happens. Assuming
I have to live stream for both tables too.
Yes, assuming
the weather's fine.
We have good air quality here in Napa, California.
Fingers crossed.
Big time crossed.
Fingers crossed for not just the tournament, for everybody else.
Yeah.
There's more important things than a beer dye tournament, but we do hope that can happen.
Yes, we would love that to happen. I guess also ISR fantasy football is going to be, the draft's going to be live streamed.
Oh, we're doing that?
I think 1 week from today, if that's how it's going to work out.
Okay.
You'll know about it. Let's put it that way.
I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
I love fantasy. Anything else I want to talk about?
Any good shit we've seen recently?
No. Not really.
Other than Donnie Barrel's walk-off.
Who gave that name Donnie Barrel?
I have no clue who came up with that, but I know I did not make it up.
Okay, well, that's a shame because that would have been a great name.
I'm assuming it was somebody in the Giants clubhouse.
Yeah, Donnie Barrels.
Donnie Barrels. He's been a revelation. I mean,
him and Wilmer Flores have been great.
Well, Flores has been really good. Good call.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, Solano joined the Giants last year. He was a nobody before that. And he's just been raking ever since he joined the team. It's been awesome. He was a big part of that run that put them in playoff contention last year. That fucked up, our draft position. If you want to be that guy,
that late July,
exactly,
this little stretch they
had.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't think it's crazy to say the Giants are possibly in a playoff spot.
But the Giants would be playing the Dodgers in the first round of the playoffs if the season ended today.
So hey, I didn't think they were going to do anything. I don't think you thought they were going to do anything.
I think I predicted 20 wins.
So. Yeah. But I think we also didn't predict anything because we didn't know what the playoff
Well, correct. Yes.
What it was going to be.
We did not know
But
it was going to be 8 teams on each side. But
I still don't think I was going to put the Giants in there anyways.
Yeah.
But if the Giants make the playoffs, that'd be great.
That'd be fun.
They'll
regardless.
they'll get smoked. Even though they've beaten the Dodgers a couple times, it's like it's there. They know.
Yep.
But just get something to root for. Yeah. I always watch my Giants. It's not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
it's not an issue for me.
I gotta be honest. I really want to be there when the turnaround happens. So that's why I keep my eye on the Giants every year for sure. Oh. I don't want to be that guy that's just like, oh, now that they're good again, let's start watching.
No. You see, you gotta root for your teams when they're good, when they're bad. That's just how it is.
I also want to reel in my expectations on Joey Bart. Just because he's been scuffling lately.
What did I tell you on Sunday? I said, I don't want to overreact.
I mean, he's a good player. I know he's a good player. He'll make the adjustment, but he's been scuffling the last couple of games.
Your boy Joey Bart last night had a grand slam opportunity.
He had a lot of opportunities to tie the game with a home run or do something big, and did not do anything. I think he went up for 6.
He's a rookie. He's playing the best team in the league.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best pitching in the league with the Dodgers.
Oh, the Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers are loaded.
And, he'll get there. But I'm not. With baseball, it's so hard to be really good at baseball right out the gate.
Well, and like with guys that are prospects, you never know how they're going to pan out. They could rake in the minor leagues. So many guys have been brought up by the Giants, and we think they're going to be good they rake in the minor leagues, like I said, and they just don't do shit in the majors. There's a lot of those guys.
It's just the levels of it. It just shows you how much harder it is to go from the minors.
Major league pitching is insanely good. Let's put it that way.
It's
and minor league pitching is the quality is very spread out.
Yeah, I never played baseball growing up ever, so what those guys do.
Hitting baseball is not easy.
Hitting a sphere object with a sphere,
a
spherical bat,
like a circular shaped bat.
Seems impossible.
Not ideal.
No.
I need a cricket paddle and a rock.
A basketball.
A basketball.
Something huge.
All right, Gage.
Yeah, that was great.
What are we gonna call these midweek episodes?
Put me on the spot like that. At least give me some.
I've been trying to think of something stupid. Like Wasted Wednesday. Or if we do it on Thursday, it could be a Thursday.
We do like
midweek madness. I don't know.
Midweek madness.
That's kind of weak.
I'm trying to think of something right now.
Yeah, we'll think of something. Give us some suggestions if you listen.
Suggestions. That'd be great.
If you listen, give us suggestions for midweek episode names
between us two. And I don't know.
Mean Rage.
And is this gonna? Are we gonna try to do this every week?
We're gonna try. I know next week, if we're doing fantasy football draft, we're not gonna do an episode, obviously.
Yeah. But we'll try to do it. We'll try to do it if we can.
But when we get back to normal, we'll be rolling. I think 2 times a week.
And plus,
that's my hope.
Things might be us two for a while.
Let's not get into that yet.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Peace.